Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In this session, we'll be talking about cloud, DevOps, and programming, of course. And this session, I think I'm doing live after 1 month. It's been a while, I know. There are a lot of things going on. Of course, I got a new job, new opportunities, and all coming up and all. But it's fine. We'll talk about in the first sections. We'll talk about what is in cloud demand these days. What are the latest DevOps trends, and in programmatic wise, we'll talk about like different use cases in the cloud, how it's impacting the other use cases, other things we'll talk about, and of course, we will come to talk about like any question you might have. You can simply go and ask. I'll be definitely answer that. Hey Shupio. Yeah, good evening. So you're the first one. So yeah, so of course I'm doing after a long time, so people are not aware that I'm doing or not. So they might be, yeah. Thank you, Supriyo. So yeah, so as I said, it's a long time after which I'm to the session, which is fine. I know people will be joining just 2 or 3 minutes, and everyone will start joining, and it's fine by that. And if anyone have any question, feel free to go ahead and ask the question. I will definitely answer that. And I know a few question are already asked, so I'll go through that if no new question comes at the moment. And I'll be answering them very thoroughly, so no worries on that. Just a moment. Okay. So, first question is, let me quickly go through that I would okay. I'm a DevOps engineer. I want to start my own freelancing and all. Okay, I will come to that. What technologies are in trends and will help me to get job? Okay, that's a really good question. So let me answer that first, and it's related to what I'm supposed to cover. So yeah, in the latest, you can see in the in demand technologies for DevOps, there are many technologies, out of which at this moment, I will say Terraform really in very demand. You will get really great opportunities, no matter which country you are or which location you are working from. You will get really good projects. What skills in the Terraform specifically you need, I will tell you. First of all, that you should have very basic understanding of say variables, all the resource type, of course the cloud that you're targeting, suppose AWS, GCP or Azure, whatever it is, or maybe it's not a cloud, just some components. There also you must have good knowledge, because you will be working on that particular component, so that component knowledge is required. After that, of course, integrating that in the Terraform. And think about, in these days there is a count based adding or removal. Okay, suppose you want one particular resource to be enabled for one client, and that another resource you don't want for enable to other clients. Okay, in those cases using count is the best way these days. And suppose you are making some say S3 rules or any kind of rules, it could be any rules. Okay, it could be any dynamic blocking and all. On those cases, use the dynamic blocks. So you have the Terraform say dynamic blocks, use that particular block to generate it, and use variable to generate the this particular dynamic blocks. You will understand if you are in the Terraform. Just search what I'm asking, you will find a lot of solution already there. And anyway, I'll be after covering the the Kubernetes series, I'll be covering more of advanced Terraform, and a lot of things I have in mind. I was bit kind of in leave and some recharge, you can say, and that's gone really well. Now it's time to take care of health and other things, but that's fine. Yeah, so yeah, the part of the Terraform you must be taking care of course the basic stuff, and then the module part, every single thing. If you are doing something in S3, you are doing something in the VPC, you are doing it anywhere, I don't care. Okay, you have to maintain a module for that. You know why? Because when you start, it's small is fine. The moment you keep working and working, it go really really big, and the moment you realize it's getting big, it's too late already. So it's really really good, I would say, best suggestion for everyone who is supposed to start Terraform projects. If you don't know Terraform modeling, learn it. If you know, then keep maintaining that way. Even with a small project, everything starts small, and you don't know when it becomes so big. Okay, so that you should be aware of. Other than that, Terraform destroying resources become very complicated. That's the reason I say count based destroy is the best choice, at least what I have seen so far. And there are other modules which came, other tools which came, which is really helpful for deleting and all. maintain state in the backends, possibly in the AWS or say Azure or GCP, whatever is your cloud in your cloud is. Based on that cloud is decide where you should store your state files. That is important. So okay, that's the more or less Terraform topic. I'll be covering very advanced, and if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask me. I'll definitely answer that. So that's not a problem. Okay, that's the Terraform. Now, what's next? What's next big tech that or big tech that is so much in demand that will help you get very good money and of course more better positions. So the next tooling is the Kubernetes. So I think that's more of less everyone know that, but I would say again that Kubernetes is the next hot thing after the infrastructure code, is Terraform or say CDK or whatever the tools are available. After that, next hottest tool is the Kubernetes, where you're supposed to maintain the clusters, pods, services, and whatnot. You should be, very focused on deciding which service to like, where to host the services. Could be AWS, or say host the clusters to be more specific. AWS, GCP, Azure. Hard, you can say, not will say hard. You will say that use case wise, usually if you're working already on a cloud, you go for that cloud given Kubernetes services. But if you have given a flexible choices, even if I'm AWS hero, I will say EKS is tough for many first timers. GK is relatively very easy. AK also I will say not that tough. So, but EK is really tough for first beginners. So always mind that part. But yeah, you have to like any clients that's ask coming to you will ask you where you're supposed to code or where can you help the most. Ideally, you should have a knowledge on all three. It's just kind of norm these days. I hate to say that you have to learn it, but it's the fact. You have to learn how to host or how to configure the Kubernetes cluster in all the clouds, specifically AWS, GCP, and Azure. These three. Okay, not everyone will come and ask you set up in Alibaba or DigitalOcean. Okay, very few. If it's in Asian clients, Singapore or China or say Japan, they might ask you, which is again very rare. But I will say normal US, UK, and all those cases, they will ask you to set up a cluster in either AWS or GCP. Even not they don't even ask for some time the AKs. AK, see, in the Azure, the mode of the storage, the normal compute, what they prefer to host. I don't know. I know what the exact reasons, but maybe some other session I will talk about that. So that's another thing. What additionally in a curious part is that security you have to very focus. Of course, the basics are there. You have to understand the pods. You have to understand the deployment policies and all that. That's pretty basic. Anyway I'm covering all that. You will eventually cover. But security part you have to be very focused because security is a kind of a very important concern. Even in the interviews also, the latest interview I've given a few months back, they ask so many questions related to the Kubernetes security, image scanning, what are the CV codes, how to fix the codes, where you will find solutions. All those they will be asking, and you have to answer that. So be very, very prepared for the latest interviews. At least if you are going for big companies, all say FANG companies or any big company, they will be definitely asking that. Specifically Apple. In Apple interviews, they kind of very focused on the this particular security topics, and they will go very deep. Okay, what are the stateless sets? What are the how you can configure multi-routing traffic or say shared deployment, what not. They have huge question bank. I don't know where they get it, but they have a huge question bank. So be prepared. They will be asking you deep dive questions if you are going for their DevOps solution. I mean DevOps engineer or architect positions. Okay, and you can apply from their official site or just reach out to any Apple developer. Apple not developer. I will say Apple recruiters. They are actively hiring still. And same can go for other companies like Tesla and other companies. They usually ask for the questions which are more of a broader question set they have. So they also ask security plus the pods and all these questions. So be prepared. What I'm saying, be prepared. Any question can come. Now, in Kubernetes, you have to be very prepared on the load balance and how to manage the load, how to do multi-region deployment, DR strategy, all they ask. So be prepared on that. Okay. Anyway, I'll be covering Kubernetes very advanced. I'm already, I think, 2 sessions I did. Others are coming. So tomorrow I will be releasing the Ansible Kubernetes setup and hosting some demo application and all. I'll be showing that. After Kubernetes, the next hot thing is the particular some automation scripting. Okay, specifically I will say they are asking for either Python or Go. I didn't see other programming language that much demand. Okay, in automation, say some automatic, data processing, or say some automatic file execution and all. Those they will. I will. For most of the cases, I've seen Python is the actually they're asking. Sometimes they say Go, and both are equally paid. So either is fine. Now, what is the next one? Is the Ansible. Now, why Ansible is used? I think you guys already know. Ansible, you just configure the not just one or two. It can host as many as not just host. I mean, you can configure as many servers possible. You install software, install software. You can set the state of the software, like start, running, or whatever it is. You can state that. You can put complicated logic there, and you can make things more automated. So these are the hottest, let's say, demanded skills right now. What is the hidden one? I will say because most people don't say it so loudly or not even mention in the sometime in the interview requirements and all. But one thing is that they will be asking or they will be asking to configure is they will give you a setup or say Linux setup 99.99% cases they will give you Linux setup and you have to write script in shell scripting and all do all that kind of stuff. Okay, so be prepared that even if said or not said, having Linux and shell scripting is a de facto. If you know all these tools that I talked about, say Terraform, Ansible, scripting, automation scripting via some programming, say Python or Go. If you lack the shell scripting part or the Linux, you might not get the opportunity. It's not like you will never get. There are a lot of companies which might say that okay, you are not that great, come we will hire and retain you, but most of the companies these days asking for ready-made stuff. So you're already ready, they will hire you and get things done. So be prepared of that also. Okay. Other than that, I think these are the skills. If you have, you're really good to go in the particular case of the DevOps of any position you may try. Other than that, additional there are like monitoring part, Kibana, Prometheus, Grafana, all those kind of they are specifically you based on your use cases you have to learn and apply. So having those two knowledge good. Additionally, there are paid services like Dynatrace, Datadog, and so other things are there. Okay, you can go and learn that. See where is the demand. If you go through multiple job posts, see the anyway you will see the exact skill like Kubernetes should be the common one. Having one programming language is the common one. Knowing Ansible and shell scripting like these are the common ones most cases. So they will find. Additionally, they will ask of the cloud knowledge like AWS, Azure, and at least one cloud. Okay, they ask about at least one cloud, and if there is separate cloud, usually they say either optional or sometimes if this really they have a hard requirement, they want emergency resources, they will make it mandatory. So be prepared on that part. Okay, so that's the skills part. Now, what is the additional part that additional skill set other than the monitoring is the alerting system. So there are actually a lot of alerting system these days. I think there are a lot of things that like this. Of course, there is always something newly coming. So some alerting system, CloudWatch is anywhere there. All cloud have their own tools. You can of course refer to that. But there are paid solutions also. You can refer to them as well if it's in the budget. So you have to actually have a very generalized approach. What should be the problem statement and what should be the solution for that? They'll be asking you, give you only few minutes to answer. So you have to be prepared before any interview or any client meeting suppose came up. They'll be asking you questions and you have to answer for that, right? So always have something in prepared. Maybe it's not 100% right, but you have to say something, right? Then you get the input and then again you say something, you come into settlement. So always be prepared for that. Okay, so that's on the cloud side, in the DevOps side. Now in the cloud side, what is the important one? In the cloud side, I will say in the market basis, okay, there are right now three top cloud. You guys already know AWS, Azure, and GCP. Now, particular to AWS, suppose it's AWS solution architect, for example, okay. Okay, suppose in that case there will be is a solution architect, they will be seeking some overall knowledge. So ultimately what it is, ultimately they want to see that you have a generalized knowledge, say what is EC2 instance, what is RDA, what is the IAM, that's the most important one, what is say serverless, Lambda, what is the say your Fargate, ECAs and all. So general idea and how one service, say EC2, how work with the ECS, or say how what is the use cases of Lambda, when you should use Lambda, when you should use the Fargate, or when you should the ECAs. So all the use cases, how one service work with another, and what are the use cases. They usually ask you that, and they have of course they might have already one solution. Say they already on premise have say 100 or 200 servers running. What will be the equivalent cost if they run in the cloud? Then you have to give them, see, if they are incurring, of course they will get the infinite flexibility or infinite scaling opportunity, okay, but what is the cost benefit? So you have to give them solution. Say if you have this many servers, why not you go for the savings plan and save this much money, and you like is equivalent to your on-premise or other cloud that you're running. If you come to this cloud, you have this. What should be the spot kind of instances, okay, where you can get at up to 90% discount. This is unused resources actually laid already laying where given for your you can see use by the cloud providers, like spot or unused resources. That is very cheap, that you can try out. Now other than that, you have to give them like reserve part, so you can reserve the capacities or instances and like that, and that also be a very good savings opportunity. So reach out and say the client that decide the will be your opportunities. If you like, you will get a really great cost cut if you go for this kind of solution, and they will be definitely come for that. So you have to be aware of the, of course, the core services, use cases, and the cost part. Then it's a complete package. You are ready for this kind of solution architect jobs. Of course, you should have a very good, as I'm not say very good, at least the basic programming knowledge. Otherwise, I will not say mandatory, at least generous idea is enough. But if you have some good, some at least pursuit of coding or some basic coding, you can see that some problem coming and all, you can think about at least, okay, suppose it's a relational DB, say it's a relational, or say relational one table is relating to other, making joint queries, then it should be a RDS, say Postgres or MySQL. Suppose it's a NoSQL, the JSON data they're storing somewhere. So then you can suggest them, say, either MongoDB or say DynamoDB. So this kind of knowledge, basic one, if you have, then will be really great. Suppose they want something, a search, some kind of search that is to be super fast. Then you can go for the AWS Open Search, which is the actually Elasticsearch latest version. Suppose they want to do some PubSub mechanism, or for that you can suggest them SQS Spot. Suppose they want some cache system, then you can refer them some Elastic Cache. So all these basics tools and their use cases, you really have to understand, really well understand and understand the use cases, scenarios, because in the exams also, in the certification exam also, they ask about this kind of scenarios, right? So anyway, you are already, if you are already prepared, you know. If you're not, be prepared for that. And in the interviews also, there will be scenario type questions. Sometimes they ask person like practically show them how you do or how you'll handle, okay. And of course the networking part, you have to, this kind of so natural, I sometimes miss, but very good knowledge on the VPC, CIDR blocking, subnetting, all this networking part also you have to understand if you are going for the solution architect part. Now if you are targeting for the, say, engineer position, say AWS engineer, then you should know at least how to operate with, not just AWS or any cloud engineer. You should know how to operate with AWS or say any cloud SDKs, how to integrate them in programming language. You should know one programming language basically, either Python or Go or JavaScript, is up to you. But these three are kind of you can say more on top side, or more high level language that's getting used by all the companies. So be very sure on that. So that's one part. Additionally, what you can do, that is a cloud engineer also sometimes have to design the networking system or other any other resources. So understand that really well. One I will say one open source infra as a code will be very good for you. Why I'm saying open source one, or say it's very not constrained by one cloud provider, or not a proprietary, because if you go and learn each cloud's individual one, you have to learn a lot of things. But if you learn one particular common like Terraform or Pulumi or this kind of things, then you learn only one particular tool and you can utilize the similar kind of knowledge in other clouds. Of course, the resource type and some other key parameter will be different. That's fine. You have to just learn one particular thing. Then others are, you understand the pattern and you can utilize that. So that's one thing. Addition to that, what will be the I will see the next skill will be the communication part, negotiation skill, marketing skill, scaling skill. I think I made a last one, I mean one post in LinkedIn or that how important is to have this kind of selling skill, because you know all that, okay. You know how the technicality works, you know everything, you're a really great engineer or architect, whatever it is. But if you can't represent the skill set or you cannot promote or brand yourself, then this will be not a good thing, right? You will be either underpaid or you are unrecognized. So if you're working on something great, make a demo, make a videos or make a post on that, popularize that. Of course, not the exact full solution, just maybe some snippet of it or some overview of it, something that just so that people know that you know things, you already tried and you worked, that kind of stuff, okay. So always do for prepare for that, and do make sure you're sharing with the people, so people are getting aware that okay, you have the skill sets, okay. That's one important stuff. Other than that, I think negotiation skills are very important, because if you are going for, say, you're selected, say interviewer interviewed you and all gone really well, they're really happy with you, they will offer some salary, okay, as an interviewer or say as a technical manager, whatever the position they hold, they will offer you. You have to be very very tactical about that. You have to do your own research, look at the companies, how much they're offering. People on LinkedIn these days actually openly saying how much they earn, including their normal in-hand salary and their their stock options. Even if you're getting opportunity, you can ask them, okay, I'm getting this much salary, how much will be my stock option. Sometimes they don't they don't themselves ask, but you can ask and you can get even shares also. So think about all those things when you're going. Okay, so these are the skill set level you can go for. I already told you the trend, what are the tools, cloud part also told you. So be sure on that. Anything you can go and ask, I will be answering. There are a lot of questions, so I think I should cover that. A lot of questions. Okay. So get to see your back. That's okay. So conversing AWS step function and Lambda URLs are just add updates and looks great. What do you think? I really like. I mean, I was very excited just about the individual Lambda URLs. I don't have to go and create the API gateway, all this configuration. I can just simply use one function URL and give it for the queue for testing and all, or even just I'm testing myself. Step function really great for long term automations and all. I used for I think 2 projects, not so much server stuff I get these days, but I apply for 2 projects that really worked well. I like both the things. It's also, why would you choose to see you use servers over serverless option? That's another tricky question. See, server, if the requests are coming continuously, okay, there is no intermittent stuff. It's always coming very like 24/7 coming. There is no point. Serverless is when you are supposed to use server for less time, or say inconsistent or say intermittent usage. Then I would say server is the best solution. It saves the cost and you don't have to manage all the servers. But if suppose you have to, like, you are getting continuous requests, maybe thousands and millions of requests, there is no point use the serverless, because maybe you think, okay, my 1 million charge is like this, but suppose if it's fixed servers, your cost is fixed. Even you set the budget, and based on budget you will get charged. In Lambda is not the case. Suppose you get very huge request sets and you keep it open, you will see in the months, and I have seen a lot of people. I think one person I know, you can say student, or you can say I know that person. His company, I think, incurred $1 million. Maybe they I think they asked AWS for like say requests to put off the bill. They did, but this happened. Next time, if they do the same thing, they will not get spared. So always think about the use cases. If you have a usage that is continuous, it's always millions of requests, then if you know it, if you know all these things, then it's better to use the server kind of thing, either ECS or EKS. I'm saying like Kubernetes cluster or normal container systems. You should be using that. Not even the normal servers, because they have to manage, and there's a lot of the problem. You have a lot of dependencies and complexity. If you just containerize that, it will be easy. So my choice will be if it's a continuous request coming up, it's huge usage, it need to be available 24/7. I will go for the server based using containerization. But if it's inconsistent or intermittent request coming, fluctual, you can say spike happening sometime, other time is very low usage, then I will go for the normal stuff. Okay, say normal serverless options. Okay. Um, One question. So it's also saying that, hello Sandeep, hope you're doing well. Can you please suggest where I can learn Terraform? In my channel also, you see in the home page itself there is a basic starting point. You can start from that. Then Andrew Brown has a really great extended course. Like I like things to be small, concise kind of thing, but that's not enough all the time. It's the reality. Sometimes you need to go deep dive, like see all this kind of very detailed explanation and all. Those kind of stuff you can refer to Andrew. Andrew have really great courses. Okay, you go to a free code camp, is I think Exam Pro channel. You will find a lot of resources. So Terraform, if it's free, you are asking, you can go there. If you are asking for the paid courses, I will say Udemy has really good courses. A cloud guru which is combined with I think Linux Academy, they also have really good courses, so either is fine. What is the next question? Is that please show demo for deployment application on Docker in AWS EC2 instances using Terraform. I actually had a plan on it long time back when I was covering all the Terraform, that things came up and I didn't had the enough time. So yeah, I will. What I'll do, I will keep a note of that. Let me quickly keep a note of that. Otherwise, I will definitely forget. So give me just an option so I can just start your thing. Uh, okay. So I keep a note of this. I will think about like when I can prioritize the things. Okay. I will do that prioritize. I will definitely do it. Don't worry. Next question from Mohan. Mohan saying that Sandeep, how are you? I have 7 experience in Windows, VMware. How to switch cloud DevOps or cloud technology? Even I study, get good knowledge. How to get actual job into cloud? Um, I said in last sessions also. I will say the same things. Uh, just I mean, you already have good experience. That will really work. Even if it's mainframe, say Windows or VMware. If you already have some working experience, okay, you just have to learn the cloud technologies and DevOps technologies. If you do that, you have to get certified. It's just because uh, somewhere it's just the de facto that you should have minimum the certifications. For that reason, you have it. Then you can target the APN partners. Who are the APN partners, or say the cloud partners? Cloud partners are the people who get preferred projects from the cloud service provider. So some people, some clients will reach out to the cloud services. Then this cloud services will reach out their partners, and these partners need people with certifications. Many certifications is their advantage. Now what happened? People join these companies, they leave, they join, they leave, but they have to this companies, they have to maintain a minimum number of say construction architects or pre-sales engineer who have certificates. So they eventually people leave and they require. I not eventually. I see a lot of people in this great resignation period. Also, people left and joined. So think about that. That's a perfect sweet pointed opportunity. You can go to any cloud service provider and see the list of their partners. So target those companies. Those companies, if you have certifications, those companies will be the first one to hire you because they have really great need for that. Understand that part, okay? This is I do mentorship a lot of people, and they reach out to me. They say, sir, I'm not getting job here, I'm not getting job there, which is really tough, to be honest. But the thing is, they don't know whom to target. They target some companies which might not care about the certificates. They care about only knowledge, and that's the right thing to do. So you must have the knowledge and certification. Show them the hands-on. That power you should have. If you have that, you will get job and opportunity in any company. But if you don't have that confidence yet, target for these APN companies. You go there, you join there, work for that particular company, and then once you get experience, go target the service. It's not service, product companies. That's the way people should be doing. Okay, I hope it's answering your question. Please show a demo application deployment on Kubernetes on EC2 instances using Terraform. Okay. I had okay, I didn't I mean of course I walk this kind of way, but I didn't show any demo. So I will make a note of that also. Give me 1 minute, okay? Yeah, giving really good things to cover. So differences between cloud architect and DevOps. See, cloud architect are the people who usually design the solution. Say, one, this service will be used for this. Say, easy to, for hosting, you can use the EC2 or ECS or EKS. They will say that for networking, we will design like the what are the should be CIDR blocks, what should be the subnet distributed border gateway protocol, and all this kind of stuff. Networking stuff. This should be the storage. They will map it. They might suggest what services for the storage you should use, say, or S3, how should you configure it, all those kind of things. They will design then a solution. DevOps engineer or you can say are the people who usually implement all the things, or they should be either cloud engineer and DevOps engineer or both. You can work in a team and distribute the tasks between them. Usually, some people, medium companies don't even hire the cloud engineers. They ask the DevOps engineer to implement the solution. Even this cloud architects, also people who are really highly experienced on designing solutions, or maybe the starting people, they're fresher, whatever the use case, they know how that one particular cloud works or multiple clouds particularly works. They design the solution, and the DevOps engineer are the people who implement the solution. That's the difference. One is the designing, talking with the client, getting the requirement, noting down the things, designing solution, and DevOps engineer implementing that. But sometimes, in real life, what happens? A DevOps engineer himself gets the requirement from clients, then note them down, design the solution, and implement. It depends. It's a big company, they can hire people, they have money. Small and medium companies have less money, less funds, so they will hire a engineer, say DevOps engineer, pay them very good money, and they ask, sir, do this, all these things. So that kind of thing, how it works. Say, still a lot of confusion between DevOps and SRE with respect to technology and tools. Any roles, tool differences, any special role differences? Okay, so DevOps part is more of, you can say, they are closer to systems. I would say both are actually closer to system, but DevOps is kind of very broad. Okay, very broad. It involves the implementation, deploying, monitoring, all this kind of stuff, but not just particular side or say not particular project. It involves some communication between the dev team and the operation team, and a lot of other stuff going on. SRE share the common trait. You can see the extended version of the DevOps, where SRE people have a very, it's a very great focus on making sure the, the the solution of the project or the site is up, making sure it maintained, making sure all the things should be working, making sure it never go down, service should always stay up. So SRE is a kind of, I would say, they're more of the particular target focused. Okay, but the DevOps engineer, this position are to be very broad. I think one session I saw on Take All with Nana, her channel actually have really good this confusion part. She had really good particular video on that. That's why I think, okay, should I make a video on that, because her video is really great on that particular topic. But if people want, I will make my one. Okay, so just to say again, difference part, DevOps part is a broad. It involves communication between dev operation team. It involves the developing a particular solution. So for the, at least the deployment part, they should have to handle. I will say they have to communicate with all the parties to make sure it's deployed faster, develop faster. These are things. SREs focus on only making the system always up. Or their main target is to make the system performant, stay on top, and it should be up also. That kind of priority. Okay, priority make the role differences. Otherwise, there is not much difference. Okay. How to learn more hands-on for each DevOps tools. I mean, that's quite easy. You have to just try it out. You have to get some challenges. There are a lot of projects available in Udemy's, in GitHub. You just find by the particular sample project. You'll find a sample project very quickly. So getting project is not that tough. Getting videos is not tough these days. Every single people actually in the YouTube, they're making videos, not just me or other people. A lot of people. Okay, there are a lot of people doing releasing videos and doing all that. So that shouldn't be a problem. You just have to get it and try it out. That you have to like, say you are getting you want to learn the Terraform. Okay, getting Terraform sample scripts very easy. You can go to Terraform official example sites, or you can just Google about it. You will see entire project repo is there. Now you're going through the repo, then going to the repo is not enough, looking at the code is not enough, you have to understand the code anyway. Then if you see all good, you have to apply to your account. If it's not a very big bill amount kind of going to incur, because it is small implementation, go and apply it. You're applying, you're checking, you will face issues, of course. For the first time, if you're just going for something new, you'll face issues. Try to solve it. The process of solving the problem make you more knowledgeable. You get hands on that way. You have to face the problem, try it out, solve the problem, you get knowledge, and you are good to go. That's called hands on knowledge. You're trying, failing, learning, repeating. That's the hands on. You have to try it out. Okay. Okay. Common area where solution architect need to focus is migration and DI requirements. Can you elaborate on? Okay. See, migration part, you have to be very sure it's a lift and shift, or you can say like rehosting, or say entirely kind of recreate, like entirely give a new solution for the problem. So there are a lot of migration strategies. I have already written a post on two, I think one or two posts on it. You can find the LinkedIn for that. And DI requirements, of course, very important, because you see that some regions go down anytime. You don't know, some router problem, some DNS problem, and God knows what problem happened, and they will go down. So you have to always think of some DI strategy. Best DI strategy will be having the data backup all the time, at least point in time backup. If it's a big enterprise application or even a medium to high level applications, you should do a point in recovery, so that anytime any failure happens, you should recover. Data path is important. Server and all that you can manually create, you can use scripting, say Terraform, other things to create, but data part you cannot do that. You have to be very, very careful on the data part. If required, make a 2 copy. I don't care if the budget permits, make a 2 copy, but data you should not lose, because entire modern day business depends on data. Anything go one server go down, fine, you can spin up one server, maybe resource getting lower, you can just add a auto scaling, all that you can do, but data part you should handle very carefully. So in the DR strategy, your main target should be handling the data very carefully. If possible, go for the multi-region backup. Again, if your budget permits, okay, and making sure it's secure, it's encrypted, because you just not lay around some data somewhere and hacker came and take it and they make it on the black market for sale. You should not do that. You should make sure all the data you are storing anywhere is encrypted. So that also should be part of your DR strategy. So migration part, make sure what is your strategy, the lift and shift, rehosting, whatever it is, make sure you track that. And if possible, if you're just deploying application, these days people are going for either containerization or say Lambda, like function based approach. Function based, entire rewriting will be needed, lot of work, lot of time, lot of efforts, and lot of cost will be there. For the say your container based, whatever solution you have, just containerize and give it to the DevOps engineer or deployment engineer or release manager. They will do it. So that's more easier. So based on your requirement, budget, and human force, or whatever your plans are, you have to decide the migration strategy. DR strategy, you have to make sure that suppose one region go down, how you can quickly go up in another region, or maybe better that you do deploy in multi-region. If it's a Lambda solution, you can deploy in multi-region. If there is a downtime in the one region, they will automatically using Route 53, you can redirect the traffic to other places. Okay, those you can do. So strategy is important here. Data strategy should be a top priority, because hosting one you can manage anyway somehow. Uh, okay, that I say. Saying what is your favorite serverless framework, Sam? It's serverless framework. I will just hands up. It's serverless framework. I love the most that thing. I like the SAM. I like the CDK, and guys know that SAM and CDK behind the scene. It's all that CloudFormation. Even the serverless framework also behind the scenes. This serverless it's using the CloudFormation. But somehow I found serverless framework is easier. It give you more flexibility. Okay, that's why maybe I prefer the serverless framework more. And you have a lot of option, by the way. You can go for any programming language also. So, I mean, all supports it, but CDK is more of a very JavaScript centric. So I like serverless framework. I can go for the Python, you can go for the JavaScript and all that. So yeah, again, it's a personal choice. I like all the three, but most preferred one would be the serverless framework. For one premise on sorry for one on is Jagan saying that for on premise To AWS cloud migration, which tool is mostly used real time? See, AWS have their own list of tool set for the migrations, even for the cloud data and all that. You should simply go and check their own, they have own suggestion, own white paper. You can go for that. Usual cases for say your application, people go for the simple containerization, and as I say, simple containerization, and just make a modification to where you're going to host, see the ECAs or EKs, whatever it is you're planning to host. Based on that target platform, you make some minor modification. Code is the same, only some minor changes here and needed that you have to do. For the data part, all the cloud service providers have their dedicated tool to import data, be it your say SQL or non-SQL type data. They have their own tools. I will prefer to use that tools. If they don't have it, then I will see what are the open source tools available. And now there are a lot of tools. If I list out, it will be so long. So you have some very specific query, any kind of data migration or say any server migration, you can ask. I can give the specific reason, specific explanation. But in general, you go and use the what the cloud service providing, because that's 99.99% comes free. That's the reason. Okay. What's the next question is that how do you achieve the professional level in all these technologies? Okay, Python, Node.js, easy to servers, front end, back end, DevOps, and so on. I worked on it. I work for multiple clients, countless clients. I can't count how many clients I work on. I never track all the clients' names and all. They came to me on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on my personal number. I don't know how they got all the numbers. They come to me, hey Sandip, I have a very interesting project. What is your working rate? If they find my working rate good, they will say, it's great, let's start working. If it's not great, man, you are charging so high. Can you do it less? I simply reply, I don't work on cheap projects. So I say, no thanks. I have other projects to do. If I'm getting some time for myself, I will prefer that. But if I'm sacrificing that time for someone else's project, it has to be a really great paid one. Otherwise, I will say, sorry, but thank you, I'm not interested. So that's the main reason I always stay full. You can say even now also, I am full of projects and all that. It's going really well for me and all. Yeah, sometime at the beginning, get the new projects because I started some new projects. So that time was very intense. You can say that's one of the reason I didn't able to do much this month. I mean, last 1 month. There are of course some very very close friends' marriage was there, and I don't want to miss that. That's why even my say family is saying no, don't go at right now. It's too hot and Corona. I'll say forget that. It's one my very close friend. I must attend. I attended that one. So yeah, also a lot of reasons was there. I was not able to. That's the reason. But main reason was a new project, and I have had to really focus on that. That's the reason I did initiation. Focus, get used to that one, and be ready. And always remember that in your practical life also, you should not depend on one project or one job. You don't know when the company goes down, or say they ask you like they hire someone else in your place and say ask you to leave. There could be a lot of cases, right? You might have your family, your children. I have my children now. I know what is responsibility. Even before children, I had made sure that I have to know what is the financial part. Then only I get married. That was my entire goal. Even now also I know the responsibilities and all that. Suddenly some job going out is it's like horror movie. Suddenly you're facing a horror movie in real life. So that's the reason I never depend on a single job provider or single client. If they don't want to work with me for the same reason, I say tata bye bye. I will maybe just within 1 week I'll get 2 clients like yourself. Maybe you're even they're paying greater than your project. So that never has a problem for me. But you have to be very confident. You have to be very sure. Have a side project. Last few posts I was saying that because it's a huge positive impact. Of course, there will be huge, like not huge, say some work pressure based on the pay they were getting, but having this option will make you mentally sure. Okay, this project goes on. I have this one. I can make this new project my main project, and I will quickly find another one for the side project. That should be your strategy all the time. Okay, and of suppose you have multiple clients. They always have some pending works and some works, and they want something whenever you're available. Do that. That's another extra source of money for you. So be sure on that. So that's the reason I work with so many clients, so many different problems and all, so many different people. So I got to learn from so many people, different their approach, their thinking process, their pattern to solve a problem, their way to like how they thought and solve it. and different challenges, so I can get hands on. Like I get the chance to make hands on all this kind of technologies, be it serverless, be it containerization, be it any OS, Cinnamon, Ubuntu, CentOS, Fedora, and you just name it. I work on 99% of the Linux use cases, Linux OS cases. So yeah, that's the reason you have to work on a lot of client if you want to get this kind of exposure. But if you are another way is if you are going for a very good company, say they have professional handling the service based, they go on for a lot of cloud and DevOps projects. There also you might get chance to work on different client, different problem statements, different tools they're using, you have to learn and all. At the beginning it's really tough to get something new, maybe some entirely new things. Okay, suppose I get a new blockchain project, it's been very new to me, then I learn it for a few months, and then I get used to it, that's kind of thing. So that's the reason you should be exploring a lot of other, either you go for service based company and who have multiple cloud and DevOps specific projects, there you can do hands on, but the pay will be lower than the product companies. I can give you 99% guarantee. Their pay will be a lot lower than the product companies. Now, if it's the product companies, they will be huge responsibility and they will be giving a lot of work. Making a side project will be tough, but that will be beneficial financially and peace of mind. So that's how I did, and it worked well, really well. Not just simple well, it worked really well for me, and I am able to do get and achieve a lot of than I have imagined. So that's how I would say. It's size inside. Please talk. Speak about the DevSecOps suggest tool for the. See, DevSecOps what security. You have, if you know the basic DevOps, is more of the making your release faster, making sure that your product or your whatever you're releasing on tools and all, or the solutions, any site project, whatever it is, it should follow the standard set of security practices. Now, example, suppose you have a Node.js project, you should use tools like a sync or say npm audit to make sure it have less vulnerability. Okay, similarly you should have some basic test cases to make sure that any build going to, even if staging, you should have the basic testing, both the functional behavioral and the your security testing as a part of your CI/CD process. So that is the what they're saying, that DevSecOps, whatever DevOps pipelines tools you have, just like introduce the security part of in your current workflow that they're asking for. Suppose you have a Docker image, as an example, just like for the image notice I told you. Suppose you have the image, okay. Now, image, every cloud provider these days giving their inbuilt scanning. Even if they're not give, you can just have a tool like Aqua and Aqua Security or something like that. There, you can just get that tool and run a scanner. You will see all the bugs and all that's in the image, and you can just go for. They will even suggest what particular image version or base image version to use to generate a new image. So those are the things that there. Okay, you can just go ahead and use that, implement in your own project or product, whatever it is. This is what you need, what DevSecOps. There are a lot of tools, if I go and on, it can never finish. That simply, you can just simply search by like for particular, say for data or say for Node.js, what should that security tools, you'll find a lot of things like that way. Maybe if you want, you can then I can make one list for particular DevSecOps tools if you guys want. I don't know, so if you guys want, let me know in the comment section, then I will make sure, because one person asking, I will say Google it. If many people asking for it, then I will consider, because writing take efforts, right? I have to think, I have to go through different resources, make all the list and all. So that's the reason. If many people want me, just let me know in the comments, then I will make preparation for that. Okay, so it's different between cloud engineer, DevOps. The cloud engineer more of only cloud specific tools and all. Say it's like cloud engineer, so they will be working on say Node.js with Lambda, or say Node.js and they're deploying to the say any cloud service provider, other cloud services. Okay, or maybe they are using cloud formation for particular cloud deployment. But DevOps engineer, they have to handle the Linux system debugging. They have to talk with the like connected between dev and ops people, get the requirement cleared up, have the CI/CD pipeline in place, have to make sure monitoring in place, have to make sure the product getting deployed faster, any glitches, any problem, fixing it in the deployment flow. Those will be the DevOps engineer jobs. Cloud engineer, what are developing the cloud application and somehow hosting it or maybe do infrastructure code. DevOps also have infrastructure code in their requirement list, but more of the deployment part, CI/CD flow is come to the DevOps. Cloud engineer part, most of the like either making the solution infrastructure part or the developing of the application, or maybe both. Okay, that's the difference. Now every company, actually what happened, they have own innovative idea of particular positions. They will add many skills just to look that position is very cool and all. But ultimately, you can just join a company and see they are hiring as a cloud engineer. They are asking you to do the support. So it's a joke, by the way. But they do the joke with a lot of people. So you have to be very sure that you go when you're giving interview, you ask the people exactly these are the technology I should be working on, or this are the scope of that, and make sure getting joined and they are giving you tasks is exactly to do that. Okay, that's one important part you have to check by yourselves. Okay, what is saying that's Mallikarjun is saying, what is the difference between Azure Kubernetes, Azure Jenkins pipeline, AWS DevOps Jenkins, DevOps Kubernetes, brother? See, more or less all are same, just the way you are configuring things when one cloud is different in other cloud. Okay, that's the main difference, because Kubernetes, both are certified Kubernetes, and to become certified Kubernetes, they have to follow the instruction that is given by the Kubernetes like organization, I think CNCF. So they have to follow the same thing. Similarly, DevOps Jenkins, ultimately you are running your job, right? So just the hosting is different. The way you are configuring things are different. That's it. So main code wise not different. Just how you're operating things, the operations part is different. That is the main part. Okay, as a difference wise. What is that? Okay, it's Shravan saying that give some end-to-end demo of DevOps implementation. See, now the problem is that DevOps is very broad, and exactly what you want. You want a end-to-end say application deployment flow, or say you want end-to-end application development and CI/CD pipeline. So you have to be very sure what you're asking for. If you do that, I'll definitely cover that. Okay. Um, so okay, is that Himanshu saying I am a Unix system engineer? I want to move to DevOps cloud engineer. Can you tell me or suggest any video for that? If you're already Unix system engineer, you're really in good shape. Just master the tools I've told, right? The DevOps tool for Linux you already know. It's really great. For any if you want to become a DevOps or cloud engineer, for the cloud part you already need to know that you need to know one particular cloud, say Azure or AWS or specific cloud very well. For DevOps engineer, you need one cloud, you need one programming language, be it Python, be it JavaScript or Go. Any is fine. Go or Python is actually really preferred one. You can go for that. And other than that, you need Terraform, any infrastructure code tool, but Terraform is preferred. Ansible for the configuration management. Automation, already you know one programming language, you can use that, or you can use shell scripting. For you already know the shell scripting, will be really great, that you can use for your automation and all. So that's how you should go. Of course, you have to learn the monitoring part using different tools and all. You have to learn about CI/CD implementation, Kubernetes. These are the tools you need to master. If you know that, it will be really easy. Not also not easy. But these are tools required to get into DevOps part. Okay. Okay, it's already 8:30. So guys, I'll be saying for more 7 minutes and I'll have to cover whatever I can. Okay, so speeding up. Okay, so regarding microservices, in interview they are asking about use of it and suite for all requirements. What are the different frameworks on microservice? See, microservice could be multiple ways. Suppose one is the ultimately you have multiple small services which say different developer deploying to different microservices, and you have one orchestrator which is connecting to all these services, or maybe one service is talking with other service to get some data interchange. Okay, So all that you can do at different ways. You can use containers for that. You can use function wise serverless framework for that, or say lambda. Like, what is serverless framework? Ultimately, using the lambda function. So use the serverless function for that. So you think about your use case, then you decide which thing to use. There are a lot of, if you think about the programmatic wise, you have different frameworks. Like on programming language, give you some kind of strategy for developing the microservices. Node.js have it, any Node.js framework have it. Python, you see Flask or the Django both support this kind of scenario for microservice development. So any programming is fine. Just make sure approach is proper. Okay, if you're going for the containerized based or you're going for the serverless. Containerized based, you can even go for the EK, or it's not EKS, any Kubernetes solutions where you're deploying different service to, like different services to service namespace. You can do all that way. It's up to you. Okay. Okay, now this is a very great one. Okay, the key area is deployment. Here, hearing blue, green, canary, different version based, zero downtime deployment are all the same, and any Docker, only Docker is the only option for all this. No, I'll come. See, blue, green is a deployment type, which is see, zero time deployments is one of the part of that. Canary also same thing, different version based, also same thing, zero time. All these are zero time deployments, but the way you deploy the things is different. For the green, blue, green, you have one, say infrastructure one. Okay, you can think of as a blue. Okay, you are making a copy of the entire infrastructure with the latest changes in a green. Okay, now till you shut down the blue, green is still running. You are incurring double cost. Think about that. Now think about the canary. Canary part, you are deploying to small set of people or small set of servers. You are routing the traffic to there, making sure that particular usage is going well, and slowly you are waiting the new version and reducing the older version. That's how the canary works. Now, what is the next one? Is the like there are shared deployments like that. All are zero runtime, but how you are going to implement based cost is a matter. The way you are implementing or you are utilizing is a matter. Based on that, you should be utilizing. So all are not same, even though all are zero runtime deployments. Cost is matter, and the complexity is a matter. Okay, and Docker is the only option for all this. No, you can use serverless, you can use Docker, you can use normal applications running in EC2. All is fine. Okay, so that's also not a constraint. You can use any. Okay, wife asking to go to doctor. 8:30, 3 minutes. Okay. Raghav said, please discuss Terraform modules. I will do some dedicated session on that. What is certification? I will go for DevSecOps. Go for the AWS. Go for the AWS DevOps certification. Okay. So, okay, that is done. I will make sure. Okay. Not at the immediately, but soon enough. Okay, I think it's nearing down and I have to really go to doctor on 8:30. So yeah, thanks again everyone for staying this long. I know I didn't able to cover all the questions, but maybe when I get some chance after coming back, I will definitely try to answer them. I'll see if I can do it or not. Otherwise, you can ask on the LinkedIn. I will try to read. If you get, I know a lot of unread messages are there. I'm not getting chances, but I will try to. Okay, be patient with me. Okay, guys, thank you again. Thank you for staying this long. I know it's already 1 hour session, so thanks again. This one I wanted to do because last 1 month I didn't able to do any live sessions. Tomorrow, if possible, I think already make it some edits remaining for the Ansible Kubernetes part. I will try to release tomorrow. Okay, okay, everyone. Bye.